So I thought it would be really nice for us to be together in a little bit of a different way. We're always together on Zoom, but today, today I is a year since we had a staff meeting that discussed shutting down the building and what that would look like. I was looking through all of my email, and it was on March 16th, 2020, when we had a staff meeting that delineated all of the pieces and parts of what it would mean for us to not physically be together 1 year ago. And 1 year ago, we went to Shabbat on Zoom. 1 year ago, we made the the official agonizing decision to not have the retreat 1 year ago. And so I wanted us to have kind of a discussion about what we, where we are, what we're feeling, how we're doing, and share that with the congregation. And so, Brett, what do you think you've learned about this congregation, about Suburban Temple-Kol?
Thanks, Rabbi. So, I actually was thinking about, I don't know if it's learned as much as it's, reminded and reinforced. It's community, it's commitment, passion. I was scared when we went, beyond my fear of COVID itself. I was scared about what it meant for us, to suddenly be virtual.
Right.
And I'm incredibly proud of this congregation and what it's done, what we as a staff have done, and what our congregants have done to sustain us over the last year and moving forward. So
yeah,
those are the three words.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And JB, Brett said proud. So what are you most proud of this year?
I've been thinking about this because it's sort of this additive pride. It seems to keep building. And Rabbi Shauna the other day was talking about silver linings versus silver learnings. And one of the learnings I think that's come out of the last year is that, technology, albeit sometimes quirky, can really be empowering, right? There's a lot of people that have been able to and regularly participate in Shabbat, not just be there, but be there and interact in different sort of ways at what works for them and their families, and more families and more people being able to do it in meaningful ways. So I'm really proud of that.
Wow, that's amazing. It really makes me think about Shabbat and what, Deb, you have put into Shabbat and the High Holy Days. And this is really dug into your creativity and where you are. And how have you continued to find your creativity this year, day after day after day?
Well, I have to tell you at first, it was talk about scared, Brett, when I found out we had to go online, and I knew that there were special considerations for music and how are we going to make that happen. And what I found from a creativity perspective is there are a lot of us all over the world who are in the same boat. And I was thrilled and touched and just lifted up by the offers of help and support in getting us to the point where we can produce things online. So I was able to learn how to record music in multiple parts, which is something I have not experienced before. And now I feel like I got it, and also, in how to do live videos and how to run Zooms and all of that. And the global community, especially the Jewish community and the community of Jewish musicians, has been incredible in the amount of support that has been out there and that I've been able to then reciprocate back to the community. It's a real thing that's going to last well beyond this. This is, talk about a silver learning too. I mean, this is something that's going to just continue.
Rabbi Shauna, you have taught us silver learning, which you in turn learned from a wonderful teacher. And Deb talked about how much she's learned this year. How do you think education and learning changed and are changing? And let's stop there because I could keep asking you a million questions.
I think that what's happened with our program is we've gone global. We've totally taken the advantage that our program is virtual. We have learners from across the country, from as far as Arizona, and we have teachers from as far as Israel. We said we are no longer a program that is located in Beechwood, Ohio, and has learners from, I mean, it used to be we were as far as Brecksville, and we thought that was amazing. And now we are literally across the world. And I think it is my beloved teacher, Cantor Ellen Dreskin, who gave me the term silver learnings. I've been talking about the silver linings of the pandemic, and she gave me the term silver learnings. And I think the silver lining is when you take the silver learnings and of this pandemic, and they don't stop. When the masks, God willing, soon are able to come off, and we are able to be back together in person, you take everything you've learned and you make what we have even better. So even when we are able to be back in classrooms, even when we are able to be back in our beloved building in Beechwood, Ohio, to know that we can still have teachers from Israel, from Australia, who knows, as long as we can figure out the time difference. I think that our program no longer has to have borders and boundaries, and I think that's true for synagogue life in general.
Do you think that's what surprised you, or is something else surprised you?
I think that there's been a lot that has surprised me. I think the most surprising thing is how engaged everybody has remained. I feel like we're even more engaged than we were before. And I think some of that is there was a need for engagement and to feel connected. But I think, you know, we talk a lot about Zoom fatigue and how much, you know, sometimes being in this Zoom box is really hard. But I think we have not only fostered already existing relationships, but I'm super proud and a little surprised by the fact that we've been able to create new relationships, even over the internet waves. So that has been incredible and wonderful, and another silver lining.
Yeah. I think I want to end with a question for Brett, which is, Brett, what do you miss and what do you hope will happen in the next couple of months?
I think I'm like everybody else. I miss being together on something other than a flat screen. I miss the 3D. All of you, anyone who's ever attended Shabbat services knows that I'm a hugger. I miss that desperately, and I recognize that's going to change. Some folks are not going to be comfortable even get vaccinated to shake hands or hug, and we may still be doing fist bumps or elbow bumps, but that's what I miss. And seeing everybody, and cautiously optimistic that those things are going to change soon-ish.
Yeah, me too. I'm cautiously optimistic. And one of the things that, as I read through my emails from last March to just this past week, is the extraordinary resilience, even on the hardest of days, for all of us, staff and members alike. And I am so proud of what we've been able to accomplish in keeping this congregation strong. And so on this anniversary, there are many anniversaries, but on this anniversary, we celebrate that resilience, even as we lift up and recognize the losses and the hardship and the collective pain that we've been through. And I know that we're going to continue from strength to strength. And so I think we should all say a collective amen.
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 Thank you, everybody.